It's lashing with rain. It is officially a mudder. There were rumours of blue skies yesterday, but all night long and all morning it has belted rain here in a part of the world that seems to only deal in drama. Let's check out how today's schedule looks then. 10:45 Central European time. Junior women will get us underway before the elites are on track from 12:10 Central European time. Whatever else you have potentially lurking on your horizon, knock it on the head. Today should be a belter. My name's Rick McLaughlin. I will be taking you through the action this afternoon, and I'm pleased to say I am joined by a slightly sodden Nico Mullally in the commentary booth. Nico, we're watching Amaury Piron's first run of practice here, and the track looks very, very different now.
Yeah, it's so soft. They made a lot of changes to the track this year, just moving the line slightly to the right or left of the track last year. You can see here's this loamy dirt. When it got wet, just got really deep, thick mud, and now there's a lot of ruts in it come race time.
Yeah, as I say, very, very different complexion to what's up there at the minute. This was from a couple of days ago, this run, and you can hear Piron.
Conditions are similar. The ruts and holes are just a lot deeper.
Axle deep in places, particularly this section, and that really steep couple of turns we saw cause carnage last year as well look absolutely almost unrideable this afternoon.
Yeah, it's everything that's fresh. I mean, they did a great job to make the track new and exciting for the riders this year. These old sections here, like what we're watching, is actually pretty consistent. There's not too many lines. The base is pretty hard. But anything that's new for this year, because it's rained the entire weekend through practice, is just so soft and muddy. There's no base to it.
You're of course heading up Frameworks 5 Dev as ever. How much added work and stress does a mud weekend like this add to the team? I'm guessing it's a busier place, that big trailer of yours.
It adds a ton of work for the mechanics. They have to clean bikes every run, where if it's a dusty race like the last few we've had, they just wipe the bike down. They don't have to do anything to it. There's also a lot more risk of mechanicals with all the parts being worn more, getting a lot more mud in linkages inside the brakes. So yeah, just a lot more maintenance to keep the bikes running and optimal for racing.
As Amaury Piron just about makes it down in one piece. Here's some scenes from earlier on this morning. There are those berms, Nico, that we saw just cause havoc last year, and I mean, it's just so soft out there, isn't it? You can just see how far riders are traveling as soon as they do hit the deck. And there's another good point, actually. Vision's going to be key today, isn't it?
Yeah, vision's probably one of the toughest things. If you can't see the ground, you can't see the ruts, the narrow things that you're obstacles on the track trying to encounter, then it's really hard to anticipate it and time those sections well.
Well, junior women are going to be first up this afternoon. Matilda Melton will get us underway for Commensal Schwalbe by Lizor. Zana Lugar be up next. Marie Rosa Jensen back in action for Specialized Gravity as well. The Danish rider who lit up round one, Bielsko Biawa. Cassandra Pizera. Fastest qualifier from yesterday's session. Fair play to her. Anyone who has that title already has won one of the hardest races of the year.
Yeah, exciting to see somewhat of a unlisted privateer rider take that top spot.
And that's what mud races do, isn't it? It shuffles the pack a bit.
They say mud's the great equalizer. I always like mud races in my career.
I was going to ask you, would you go for this? Would this be one for you as we see Matilda Melton hit the track? This would have been a slice of Nico Mullally in the not too recent past.
I often liked it when my competition was complaining about the track, and mud races normally created that where the best guys were having trouble.
Well, here we go, Melton on course now for Commensal Schwalbe by Lizor. And we get our first look at this treacherous Léger track here in the Haute-Savoie, mixed across that road gap nicely. Look how choppy it is down in that left-hander.
So this section she's coming into now is the first wood section. This is much of what was new this year, and it's really soft through here. A lot of roots coming out, a lot of ruts. It's really boggy and slow in this section. The new layout's also a little bit slower. It's got tighter turns with flatter exits. You can see it's crucial. If you make a mistake, you're really paying for it across the exit of these turns.
And let's talk about those roots as well. So just on cue, Matilda Melton getting bobbled by a big one. You can see there the white ones coming through the mud. They're the ones you want to avoid because there's absolutely zero grip on them. But, I mean, as much as we all love... Oh, as you see Melton off to the left-hand side now, but doesn't cost herself too much time. But just, you can see shoes filling up with mud, trying to get clipped back in again. But those roots, Nico, will be key today.
Yeah, you said we can see them. We can see them on the screen. The riders have a hard time seeing them with the mud covering their goggles. I think that crash that we saw is something we're going to see a lot of today, and especially for these riders in the junior women's category, they got to keep fighting to the end. No one's going to feel good. No one's going to have a perfect run by any means, so you got to keep battling till the finish line.
Interesting as well that we saw in the elite men's qualification yesterday. Martin May is right up there in 5th place as well. He won a wet race, of course. Oh, Melton goes down. Just out of shot, looks at the front end, just gave way on the way through that rut.
This is one of the crucial ruts on the track. It's exiting the woods, and it's a flat exit there. So.
Oh, Zana Logar behind her as well, in trouble as well. So carnage, already 2 riders into a packed day of downhill racing here in Leger.
You can see how hard it was for Zana to get back on the bike. She had to put her hand down to get back up. So now her gloves all covered in mud, which is going to make it a lot harder for her to ride the rest of this run.
I've banged on about that a few times over the last few years, but that is my least favorite thing arguably out there ever, is a muddy glove on grips. It's just horrible and amplifies the arm pump massively. Lena Frenner then, won earlier on this season, gets underway. Frenner, big talent in the making, but she's got a job on her hands today.
She does. She's had some really good results this year. A little bit of inconsistency, but that's what the junior field's about. It's about learning, getting experience. It's their first time riding a lot of these tracks. So this will all go into her next year as a junior and her career as an elite.
Yeah, she won in Ludenvielle, which, you know, the other French round of the year, and another round that really puts the technical side of riding to the fore. But just, you can see just how awkward it is to keep the bike moving forward, hangs a foot off.
And she's doing a great job of just that. She is keeping rolling. She's not coming in too fast, blowing something out, stalling up. She's just a steady pace, and if you can get to the bottom like that, I think it could be a really good result.
In terms of line choice, Nico, as well, we can see those big ruts forming, but with the rain, they're still, the edges of them are very soft, hard to trust. Is it a case of just full commit to them and see what's there, or are you looking for almost like the go-karting lines in the wet, you know, around it?
Yeah, it's really hard to do anything but those ruts. If you can just commit to them and stay balanced and keep your tires rolling forward through the base of them, that's the best line. However, they're so long and they have hooks in them and they're really tough to balance through. So you can tell the riders that have experienced riding in this condition are able to balance in those ruts, keep the bike rolling forward. It's tough to get out of them. It's tough to do anything but the main line in a condition like this.
Frenner into the second part of the woods now. She goes around the lake. Guess it's riders get a bit of a breath just as the track flattens out there, but it's over quickly. They dip back into the woods yet again.
It really drops off in this last section. It's a steep bit of track. Over the years, this used to be as fresh as the top section. Now it's a little bit more groomed, which in the conditions like we have today is really helping for it to be a more consistent part of the track.
Frenner looking good though. We are yet to get a time on the board here in the junior women's race. 3 riders in, so Frenner will go into the hot seat if she can get this to the line, and looking good, Nico.
She's looking really good. I mean, considering how gnarly it is out there, we haven't really seen a mistake from her. She's just really steady. She's got a lot of track to go here, but she's managing this really well.
Tire choice, obviously it must be full muds today. Am I being an idiot for presuming that?
100%. They're running full muds. Even so, a lot of tires now, they have like a intermediate mud and a full mud. We often don't run those full muds anymore because the tracks do have such a variety, including a lot of hard pack sections as well. But this condition today is so soft. You want a narrow tire, big spacing between your knobs so it clears out, and a sharp knob to penetrate the ground.
You're thinking what I'm thinking, aren't you? Wet screams.
Yeah, the wet screens, the Continental Hydrotols our team uses. Michelin has a really aggressive mud tire. There's a few
Michelin
out
have
there.
always had super aggressive mud tires, haven't they? They're the ones that sort of raise the bike's bottom bracket height by about 40 mil because of the height of the knobs on them.
It's a French condition, and they're prepared for it.
Yeah. Frenner, the Austrian, though, Andre just absolutely torturous out there, and it's one of those rites of passage. I think. I don't think you can call yourself a mountain biker until you've had a wet day in Ligier or Morzine under your belt, just for the sheer carnage of the ride. And often it's crisis management, and you're traveling relatively slowly, but it's a amazing day out on the bike.
It is. I think a lot of people watching this can relate to riding down some of the Morzine steeps in the rain.
Go.
And it's a whole other thing to race down it.
Here we go into these really, really steep, lethal berms.
The track builders did a great job of improving this section. If you watched the race last year, not many riders could make it through, and it's a lot more consistent this year.
Yeah, who can forget that run of Amaury Piron from last season?
Opting for that B-line, that's a smart move. Considering the conditions, she was able to just smoothly ride around that river gap.
Just riding around those gap jumps as well. So 23.5 seconds faster at the fourth split.
So this is Zana coming into the finish here, and then Lena will be right behind her.
Zana getting the bike down the line. There's that big new wall ride. First time we've seen it today. Zana Lugar crosses the line. 6:09.2. Lugar gets it down the line, and that is a massive, massive haul of experience points for her, Nico.
Yeah, a rite of passage for a first-year junior, as you said.
Here comes Lena Frenner then, 23.6 seconds faster. Melton is across the line as well, so it's currently Frenner, Melton and Lugar. 1, 2, 3 here in Ligier. Gianna Neff next up. Neff on course now, the Swiss rider.
Wow. Oh. You can see that root just got her right there. Caught her by surprise.
And then it's just a scramble to get back on the bike again. Here we go, talk us through it.
Front wheel just hit a slick root. There's thousands of them out on the track today, and she had a lot of weight on that front wheel when it hit and just caught her off balance and threw her over the bars.
Next up it is going to be Marie Rosa Jensen. Now fully signed up to the Specialized Factory Racing program. Specialized Gravity, I should say, but Jensen goes down as well.
Similar crash to the one that we just saw from the previous rider.
Yeah,
There's just
mirror image almost.
so many roots in this upper section, and yeah, when they're in a race run pushing, it's easy to get caught out with a slick root in the front wheel. I think it's important, though, for these girls to fight to the finish. They could still get a top 5 even after a crash like that.
Exactly, and as you said at the top of the show, so we see Heller Wilson for the first time in 2025 leads the start hut. It's that thing of being confident with the fact that you're going to have problems along the way, and everyone is. That's the thing. So Wilson, an interesting story, had signed to Aon Racing by Tournai Camper Vans in the off-season. The team set up by Reese Wilson, and then decided that she wasn't going to race, going to focus on just sort of riding again and refinding the love a little bit, and decided to get an entry here and is being pitted with Team High Country.
Yeah, it was really cool. High Country offered her a bike.
Oh, Wilson down at the base of those berms.
Man, she'll be reconsidering wanting to come back to racing after this.
Yeah. And
a former World Cup winner, though. She won a few races last year.
yeah, and she had that unbelievable stat that on her way into her first World Cup season, she'd won 50 races undefeated. But just sort of, I don't know, fell out of love with the racing side slightly, and is now tentatively making her way back as we go back to the top for Rosa Zero.
She's been so consistent this year, just riding very steady, making it look easy out there.
Zero for Cube Factory Racing. And we always talk about it, but... Oh, Zero.
Oh, no, She wanted to hit the gap and then bailed at the last moment.
Oh, this is absolute carnage today.
But she's got a huge lead. She's got time to play
She's
with.
still 28.4 seconds up, and that's testament to what we were saying about having to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And Zero is looking like she's about to go into the hot seat.
Hopefully that walk through the river didn't take so much time away, but she's got 28 seconds to play with.
Yeah, if she takes these jumps on as well, that will be a load of time, because we know the current hot seat resident, Frenner, went round them. So
for how slow those jumps are, she hit them really well.
yeah, absolutely nailed them. Here comes Zero across the line, 22.6 seconds into the lead ahead of Frenner. Neff now in third. Nico, I'm starting to suspect we're going to have a busy afternoon on our hands here, keeping on tabs of all this.
I think so.
Eliana Husselbosch then from Santa Cruz Syndicate, and Husselbosch down at the first turn.
Not how you want to start.
Oh, an absolute nightmare in a bubble car, but
This has been her season in a nutshell. She's came in the favorite. She won so many races last year and then been fast in practice and had issues like this in all the timed runs.
But 23.6 seconds was the gap from first to second in the last run. She's got lots of track to play with here, Husselbosch, but as we said before, grips covered in mud. Makes across that gap nicely, has to reach slightly, but gets it done.
It takes some mental strength to put that behind you and keep going. Last year here, we saw Ronan Dunn crash in that same turn, the very first turn, and still make it back inside the top 10. So it's definitely possible.
Yeah, I'm still getting air into my lungs after that run, actually. Zero, Frenner, Neff, Melton, and Jensen, the top 5 so far, covered by 52.9 seconds.
It's a huge gap, and that's what we see in a mud race. It just, every mistake is made even worse because of how slow the conditions are. You can't get the bike back up to speed.
Husselbosch working her way down the track now. 12.2 seconds back at the second split. She's lost another couple now, so as you said, Nico, difficult to put it out of your mind. 2 to go after her.
It's hard to imagine she's going to gain time against Rosa, having a crash in the first section, but if she can maintain this sort of gap and not lose too much, she could still go into second place right here.
Tentatively done across the routes. Husselbosch Syndicate working really, really hard at the minute. I've got lots of new developments on the latest generation of V10. They're experimenting with some different weights and where to put them.
Yeah, I'd call the Santa Cruz V10 the Porsche 911 of downhill. It's a chassis they've used for so long. It's just a refined bike that you know works.
Yep.
It's a beautiful looking bike, and it's been, must be almost 20 years now that they've been racing that thing.
I mean, you know yourself of what you've done with frameworks as well. On days like today is where the rideability of a bike like the V10 really comes into its own, isn't it? Because it's comfortable, it's neutral.
And it needs to be reliable enough to make it through a race like this. You can have a lot of gadgets and a lot of things that maybe help the bike in good conditions, but if that stuff clogs up and falls apart in a mud race like this, it's going to cost you more time than it's going to gain you.
Here comes Eliana Husselbosch then, as Nico rightly surmised at the start of her run. A run that is really becoming emblematic of the season.
She may make some time in this last sector. She was the first one we saw to clear the river gap safely.
Here comes Husselbosch then, down towards the line, crosses it. Second place, 10.6 seconds, so testament to just keep on keeping on.
She can probably count 10 seconds that she lost in that first turn.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive as it is disappointing for her. Here comes Alifa Osgaard, though. Already has a win to her name in 2025. Osgaard had a good time at the Crankworks in Whistler as well, getting the win there in Garbanzo.
Aletha looks aggressive today. Of all the riders we've seen on screen, she's the most aggressive on the bike.
5.2 seconds faster at the second split.
You can see a lot of the riders running these rotor covers. It's a plastic cover that keeps some of the mud and water off the braking surface so that the brakes work more consistently. If you're off them for one section, a flat part, the next time you get on them, they don't squeal, they don't slide. It keeps the braking surface as clean and consistent as possible.
Brakes absolutely crucial today. Another little setup tweak, I'm guessing, will be pad compound rotor size, riders will be tweaking that slightly. 4 seconds faster Osgard here now at the third split.
She's looking really good. If she can keep this going, obviously she doesn't need to extend too far, but just maintain, I think she'll be in good shape.
Osgard looked like she's starting to figure it out from those. The pace was there at the start of the year. Now she's got that win under her belt.
It was a rough start for her. She came in, I would say, the favorite based on the results that she had in the elite races she did preseason. But she struggled. She had a couple of DNFs, off track, crash in the first few World Cups, and then the last two before the break she won. So she's ramping up and going in the right trajectory.
Yeah, as I say, got that win. The last round, Palar and Sala Andorra, but here we go into this really, really steep right-hander.
Really clean through there. Let's see if she can make this river gap.
Nicely done from Osgard. That will be worth a chunk of time. Is she going to get the river gap?
She's going for it.
Stands on the pedals. That gap that, of course, took out Reese Wilson a couple of years ago, famously.
And then here it's all about carrying momentum. She's going to tuck, get on the pedals and through the soft stuff, and then try to just carry across these flat jumps the best she can.
But she's lost a little bit of time. 2 seconds in it for the time being between her and the hot seat time of Rosa Zero. Is Osgard going to go into the lead here in Leger? Can she get 2 in a row?
It's going to be close. She made a little mistake in the left turn entering this jump section. I'm not sure if that split was before the river gap. Oh, no.
Oh, Osgard pushed out around the pole.
I think she made a mistake there. It was a mental mistake, not knowing which jump you could go around and which you couldn't.
And then has to, re-enter the course where she left it. Is this going to be one that got away for Alifa Osgard? It's looking like it.
Really good clarity for her to realize that and not make it worse. I mean, she still end up with a solid result today. She would have gone into the lead.
Yeah, Osgard bitterly disappointed. It had all been done by the screaming.
So there's 4 or 5 jumps in that section. You can go around some of them that are gaps, and she just mistakenly went around the last one, which was a tabletop. They all look the same.
Here we go. Huge story from yesterday. Cassandra Pizarra is the last rider at the top of the hill here in Leger. The French start in the making, and it's down.
No.
So she's down early in the run. Plenty of track left to play with, but Cassandra Pizarra has just made her life a lot more difficult. And down again. Pizarra, second at the European Championships. La Molina.
It's compounding mistakes like that are going to be tough. If she had just made the first one, she can put that behind her. It only cost her a few seconds, and you can see how big the gaps are today. But the second one, as she's getting up on the bike, rushing and falling over again, if you make 2 mistakes like that, it really costs you positions.
Yeah, the French national champ. It's been a great season so far for her, and that fastest qualifying session yesterday will have put her on the radar of a lot of the big teams as deals start to get done ahead of next season. Now we're in the second half of the year, but Pizarra disappointed, no doubt. 13.9 seconds back at the third split.
She's riding really well, considering those bobbles at the top.
Neatly done through there as well.
She really is. She's on flat pedals. A lot of riders switching to those today.
Yeah,
that might not normally run them on a regular day. It may be 1 or 2 in the whole field, but on a day like today, a lot of riders switching to flats just so they can take their feet off in ruts and not have the binding of the clipless pedals clog up.
There's a pub quiz question for you. Last time an elite men's downhill race was won on flat pedals. Go.
Brooke McDonald, 2012?
Gee, African Cairns. Yeah.
I remember that day.
He borrowed them as well.
Yeah.
15.7 seconds back at the fourth split for Pizarra, so not going to be her day, despite that fastest qualifying time. Rosa Zero, meanwhile, the overall points leader looks like she's going to increase her lead in that race substantially.
If she can make it down into third, I think she'll be really happy with the podium.
Rosa Zero is about to take her third win, but Pizarra, can she get into third place now? She's at third in the last of the splits. Really, really awkward and lumpy through there. Here comes Cassandra Pizarra across the line. And 10.9 seconds back, makes it into third though on the podium. But what could have been after that fastest qualifying time yesterday? But that is going to mean that Rosa Zierl is going to take her third UCI Downhill World Cup of the year. There she is, big smile from Cassandra as well. Great to see, Nico.
Yeah, really good to see. I think Aletha will be the one kicking herself a little bit for that mistake, but Rosa might not have been the fastest today, but in a mud race like this, being the most consistent and minimizing mistakes is what can get you the win.
Such a fine balance in the mud. Talk us through some of these shots then, where that consistency just paid off, didn't it?
Yeah, she just makes it look easy. She looks like she's not putting too much effort into the bike. I always say in the mud, no sudden movements. You carry momentum and keep balance, and she's really good at that. See here, she goes inside and misses a lot of those big braking holes when she lands the road gap.
Keeps the bike quite upright as well, doesn't she, as well? So the tires maximum sort of contact.
Sure, you can't lean it at the same angle when it's this slippery, and it's also harder to balance at that angle. So yeah, really good at that.
Rosa Zierl gets another UCI World Cup win for Cube Factory Racing. What a season they're having.
Very impressive for her.
We've talked about it before, but really enjoy the Cube approach of all riders under one roof, the cross-country team pit with a downhill team, vice versa. So 9.5 seconds. The winning margin ahead of Aletha Oscar, Cassandra Pizarra in third, Lena Frenner in fourth, Jana Neff in fifth. Well, we can head down to the finish then. Let's hear from Rosa Zierl now. She's down there now.
Rosa, a brutal course out there. You've won here in Leger. How does that feel? It was a really, really strong run.
Oh yeah, I don't know how I came down here. That was probably the wildest run of my life. Yeah, I nearly crashed 5 times or even more. But yeah, I made it down, and unfortunately all the other girls, most of them crashed. So yeah, I just rode down, and yeah, it ended good for me.
And how did you prepare for that? With the rain overnight, the conditions changed a lot from qualifying yesterday. What is anything that you changed from that?
Not really. I just stayed in the ruts and tried to go as flowy as possible, and just, yeah, sometimes foot out, but I tried to be clipped in, but yeah, not really anything different.
Amazing. Congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Yeah, just as we suspected, Nico. Just try to stay consistent, stay calm.
Yeah, that's the name of the game in the mud race. I think her biggest mistake was missing the river gap. She wanted to go for it. She didn't commit to the beeline, but then backed out and had to sort of run the bike through the river beside the gap.